Hey, this is Jesse with Dream.com. I'm going to show you how inheritance works with PHP object-oriented programming. This will be a real simple example, and it might not be the most practical, but it'll give you a good idea. Okay. If we have three classes, one with settings, an emailer, and messages, and we want to pass settings into each class, you can imagine that this could become very bloated with a lot of classes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one parent, and then there's going to be two children that inherit the settings. Okay. So let's get started. I'm just going to make a three classes. I've already made these. I put them in a libs folder called emailer, messages, and settings. Okay. They're all blank right now. Just class settings, class emailer, class messages. By the way, this is an auto load function. You can just copy it and type it in, and it's pretty easy to figure out. Okay. So with the settings, I'm just going to create some settings. Okay. So let's see. Protected function construct. When this is protected, it means it can't. This actual object cannot be constructed unless it's from a child. Okay. So you won't be able to construct this. You won't be able to do. Okay. You won't be able to do this because this is outside the scope of the class. So it seems like a problem, but it won't in a minute. So I'll just get some features like, let me create a function. Public function make. This will make our settings. This site email. This site name. This user ID. Okay. I'm just putting in some example info. Okay. And then we're gonna, once this settings is constructed, we're going to make it. So self make, and this we'll call this once we create a settings object. That's good for now. This could be something like a database where you do MySQL, something like that. Let's go to our emailer class, and this is going to extend settings. Extend settings. Whoops. Extends. First thing we're going to do is public function a parent construct. Okay. I'll create a couple more functions. This message. This would be a sample email sender. So if the message is not empty, this would actually be the mail function here, but I'm just going to return message from this site name. Okay. Else. So this site name, you can tell it's not. Oops, let me do something right here. Private message, private subject. Okay, private means that it can't be accessed anywhere except in the emailer class. Protected, like this, means it can only be accessed in this class itself or its children. and then there's public. So this is called encapsulation. It's just a security thing. You'll realize how useful it is later. So we got this, and let's see, I'll go to index and test it out. Set equals new settings. So instead of new settings, see, we can't construct settings because it is protected. So we're going to do a new emailer. Okay, it's blank, but let me fill something in. Okay, here's just a sample message, and then I'll check the output. Okay, now that inherits the settings, and settings becomes kinda invisible. It's almost like it has not much to do with anything, but it does. And this could be made a lot more useful. And then if we have messages, it's going to be kind of the same thing. You know, public function. I should just be very clear on this. We're making the child constructor public so that we can construct it like this. Okay, but we don't want that to be done with settings, because we only want settings to be used inside of these children classes. Don't forget to type extend settings. We're going to do a parent construct. I'll create a couple functions. Public function create message string. Whoop. Let me just do a private post. Okay. Public function post message. Return. Let's see. This site name. Okay. Once again, we're grabbing this variable, which is inherited, meaning it's available inside messages because it extends settings, which is right here. And it's available because when we create the messages object, it constructs, and then it constructs the parent. So once the parent's constructed, it does make, then it makes all these variables. Okay, that might sound a little confusing, but if you do it a couple times, you'll get really used to it. So I'll just finish this off with a couple more from the parent. Site email, this user ID, and this post. Okay, and I will try that one out. Let me just echo, oops. We'll do a message equals new messages. You just have to remember your function names here. You know, I created the message object. I'm just using these functions, or methods is their proper name. Send message, same thing. Fatal error to undefined message. Send messages. Oops, it's called post message. There we go. So that's inheritance in a nutshell.